Hi guys, my name is Pavel and I'm the developer of the game Aggressors Ancient Rome. In this tutorial, I would like to show you the modding possibilities of the game and ideally teach you how to create your own mods. Before we start, I just want to say that I'm not really professional in recording such videos and I'm also not a native speaker, so please keep in mind that this is basically my first try. And one more thing I would like to say before we start, I'm using this tool. It's called Unreal Commander. Basically, it's a file manager. There are many commanders like that out there, so use whatever you like. You can also use the Windows Explorer. This is just a bit more convenient to use. So we have the game installed here. I just installed before I started the video, and let's see how it looks like when you start the game. You can see that there is this wallpaper. That's our main art, uh, and there is no label here, and there are also just these menu items. You don't see any load mod item in the menu yet. The reason is simple. We have just one mod, which is the official mod called Ancient Rome. When you install the game, it's the only mod which is distributed with the game. It's usually on this path: C program files, Scubat software, Aggressors, Ancient Rome, bin mods. And here is basically the list of all the installed mods. Right now there is just one. Uh, there are two ways how to create new mod for the game. The first one is maybe even simpler. So let's try it first. What we do is we simply copy over this existing mod, which means copy pasting this folder, and let's just change the name to something a bit more appropriate, because this is copy in Czech. Okay, Ancient Rome test. Uh, when we go inside this folder, you can see number of subfolders, um, like different animal models, banners, texts, pictures, models, and a lot of things. There is also one file. It's called ancientrome.ag. It's called mod definition, and it's purely text file. It's actually XML file, and most of the rules of the mod are inside this folder. To have a new mod running, the only rule is to have the name of the mod, which is Ancient Rome Test, the same name as the name of the file, which means, okay, change it to Ancient Rome Test. We are pretty much ready to go. This is it. So let's start the game. Now we already have two mods, and the game will recognize it straight away. It will show in the top right corner that this is currently the Ancient Rome mod, and in the menu is now a new item called Load Mod. We can load this mod. Uh, it will basically restart everything and load again, which means all the assets, all the pictures, all the models, sounds, it's basically reloaded. You can see that now we are running Ancient Rome test, but it looks exactly like the same. So you might even think that this is the same mod. So let's just change something at least to see that it's working. Let's go inside this folder and change, for example, the wallpaper. I'm pretty sure there is a lot of stuff for you right now, but once you go through those files, you will pick it up very easily. In the graphics is a file called wallpaper. Let's just change it to something really silly just to see the difference once it's loaded. Oh, that's a nice color. And let's start it again. It will basically start the Ancient Rome test straight away because that's the mod we quit the game with. So you see that it was picked up, and we have a really nice main art loaded. Um, this is the way you can change whatever you want in the mod folder you just copied over. The problem of this approach, there are actually two problems of this approach. The first one is it's a waste of the hard drive, because right now, for example, this mod has around 800 megabytes, which is not that much. But the problem is that if you want to share it with your friend, or even upload it to the server to share it with others, this is really wasting resources, or the server. So that's not a good way how to start. And the second reason, and it's even more important, is that the official mod might be changed, might be updated, new features might come in, new UI controls can be added, etc., etc. None of these will be propagated to your mod, because your mod is basically standalone independent mod. If you wanna keep up with the changes, you will need to find out what was changed and change it as well. Otherwise, you will either miss some of those features, or you might even get to some kind of inconsistent state, because the file structure might change, which you don't really want to. So this is the first approach, which is good if you want to really create a brand new mod without any bindings to the existing mods. But if you really want to just change bits and pieces of the existing mod, this is not a good way to go. So let's delete that folder, and let's try the second approach, which is called mod prototyping. So let's try the second way how to create mods. It's called mod prototyping, and the main idea behind this is that you don't really want to change the whole mod. You in most of the cases you will just want to change few assets, bits and pieces you don't like or you want to improve. And in that case, it should contain only those changes and not the rest, which is duplicated. So let's give it a try. Let's try to change something. I will first load the game again uh, with the original mod, and show you how it looks like in the game in the original mod. Um, as I said, I just installed the game. The only thing which I added before I started recording this video was that I added our own internal scenario called Roman Conquest of Britain. It's basically a small scenario for testing. The reason behind this is very simple. We don't want to wait for too long every time we change something, so that's why we have this scenario, which is kind of small. I think it's like 20 multiple 20, and this will be our use case scenario to see the difference. What we have done. So this is our scenario. We have the Roman Empire here. We have some German tribes, and we don't like the German flag or German tribes flag. We simply don't like it, and we want to change it. So let's give it a try and try our prototyping. The only thing you have to do, and the only rule which you must obey, is that the name of the directory of the new mod, if you want to use this prototyping, must start with the name of the prototype, which means this is how it needs to start, and there is the dash, which is the delimiter of the prototype name and your name, and let's call it test. So it's ancient Rome dash test. And we are going to leave this folder pretty much empty. The only thing we want to change is the German tribes flag, so let's change it. We need to find this flag in the prototype mod folder, and it's in the flags folder, and I can find here that this is the German tribes flag. So let's just copy it over and create the same folder name. It's flags, and copy it over. It's always easier to copy over the original file and then change it rather than create your own file, because it has the specific size you need or is recommended, and you don't have to worry about the rest. So let's open this in the Photoshop and change this flag. Let's say we want to use the real German flag, which I found on Wikipedia. Let's copy it over and change the size. Here we go. Let's save it. And let's start the game. We haven't changed the mod yet, so we are back to the original one, because the one we created before doesn't exist anymore. So we need to change the mod. So the mod is reloaded. You can see in the top right corner it was changed to test, and we are back to the new mod, which is now the prototype of the existing one. The only thing which is left is to create a scenario for this mod. Basically, every scenario in this in Aggressors is bound to one specific mod, which means you cannot have one save which is bound to two mods, or you cannot have one scenario bound to two mods. So what we will do, we will copy over the Roman conquest of Britain to the scenarios folder, user scenarios folder. We will change the name. It cannot have the same name. That's even when you create a scenario in the game, it's not possible. We change the file name, so we are ready to go. The only thing left is to change the mod itself. So uh, inside this file, you have mod ancient Rome. Let's change it to test. Don't forget the the character which recognizes it as a prototype. And now we can start the game again. It will be loaded already in the test mode. And we finally have even scenario for this test mode. So let's start a new scenario. It's basically simple copy of the original one. But there is a huge difference. We just modded it. Here you go. So what else can we mod? Well, basically you can mod anything what is in the folder. So let's just let's just go through it. You can mod the administrations. We can basically mod any kind of asset you see in these folders. So it means you can coat of arms. Um, let's mod it. Let's mod a couple of things together. Um, Again, let's just uh, change the hue to actually have it as fast as possible. We don't want really to change it to be nice. We just want to show that it works. There are library pictures. Okay, well, we don't really want to do that. Let's change something from the models. What would be nice to change? Okay, let's change clouds. Why not? So it's models folder. And again, let's just change the hue Uh, okay, we need to use the uh, I'm having problems with this usually. How to change the white color? Uh, uh, okay, levels maybe. No. How to? Yeah, what I can do is simply change the color overlay to red. Let's just save it. So we have red clouds now. Um, what else would be nice to try? Pictures. Well, we don't really care about that. Scripts. Let's come back to it later. Yeah, what we can change is we can also change the sounds. So let's change the sound of the blacksmith. But to what are we going to change it? We will just use another sound. It doesn't really matter what it is. Let's use the horse. All right, let's use the horse. I'm not really sure if this will actually be. I actually think that the sound is turned off in the recording. So a couple of other things. Let's try. Windows. Yeah. Well, let's change Windows. That makes sense. State window left. Switch Windows. And this and again let's just change the saturation stuff. Okay, so let's come back to the game and let's check it out. Coat of arms, flag, we already changed the clouds sound, but I think that the sound is turned off. And state window illustration. So first, yeah, we have red clouds. It looks really, really awful. We still have the German flag, which is the same. We see the different coat of arms. We also see a different illustration, and the last thing was oh yeah, the sound. Okay, well the sound right now it's turned off, so let's leave it turn off, and let's proceed to the more difficult stuff. Before we start the really interesting part, let's just change couple of other things just to show the flexibility of the of the assets changes. I really want to delete these clouds because they don't really look nice. But what I would like to show is the change of UI. So I go back to Ancient Rome, the prototype mod, and then I go to graphics, and there is all graphic UI. This is basically almost all the things which are used in the game, except of the illustrations and images themselves. So let's just copy it over to graphics. You can change just particular controls, but we don't really want to waste time on that. So let's just, I don't know, let's just maybe change. Let's just change it to black and white. Yeah, I think that's all right. So let's change it to black and white. That's the first thing I want to do. The second thing is let's dive into a bit deeper things. let's change texts in the game. So all the texts which are related to mod are located here in the resource texts. This check, it's just basically experimental thing, but let's copy it over the whole folder, delete this check, and let's open it in Notepad++, and basically delete everything. Delete everything except of those things we really want to change. So all the texts, let's have it away. All right, because the Roman conquest of Britain is already in the after Christ was born, it uses this AD. Oh, well, let's just change it. Let's just change it just to show that it works, and let's change it to something like whatever. It doesn't really matter what it is. So we changed text. We can change any kind of text which is in this file. And the last thing I would like to change is the texture of unit. So let's go back. Let's go to units and change the texture of warrior, for example. Warrior is a testing unit. We don't really use it in the campaign map, but let's give it a try here. You already saw that guy in this testing scenario. And again, let's just change the texture to whatever. Let's change the color to a bit more reddish. Okay. Save. And let's give it a try now. So if it works, we should see the UI all in gray, which it seems like it's working. We should see the resource text, which is the year label in different format, and we also should see the different texture for the warrior unit. So you can see that the UI is black and white. You can see this HA, and we see the guy a bit more red. So everything works, which is great. And we can move on to a bit more difficult stuff. Okay, so let's try something a bit more advanced. So far, we have been just changing the assets file, and as you saw, you can change all kind of stuff. You can even change the 3D models themselves. I'm not going to show how to change those models because we need a new 3D model, and I don't want to reuse the existing one. So if you know how to create new model, then you are absolutely free to go to change the way the models look like. I just showed the texture, but let's move on. The most important part of the prototyping is not this file replacement, because it's pretty basic, but it's the definition of the mod replacement and the scripting replacement. It's pretty easy. It's almost the same as when we created the full mod, standalone mod. We just copy over the existing file. Don't forget the rule. The rule is we add the test there, and we basically just delete everything. Uh, let's uh, let's do it in the text editor. It's in this case it's Visual Studio, but you can use any kind of tool. Basically, there is this is just convenient to change it here. So you can see that I deleted basically everything. So we have empty file, just the notation of XML stays. You don't really need to know what it is. It's just how it's received or taken by the game. So let's say we want to change the unit model. We want to change, I don't know, settler, for example. So let's open the existing file, and whatever you saw with the files, with the file replacement, or uh, once you once you defined a file on a right place, it was automatically taken. This is exactly the same approach. So there are in the mod definition are basically all the things related to mod. It's starting from technologies, administrations, songs, sounds, even default moves. You define what is the default action for settler, or the military units. Then there are unit models, the animals, settings like shortcuts, default moves, difficulty settings, etc., etc., etc. So it doesn't make sense to go through all of them because it would be quite a long video. But I will show you a couple of showcases to demonstrate what it does. So what we will do, we will just copy over these unit models to the state memento, and we will delete everything from this because we don't want to um, change all this. We just want to change the settler. So I delete everything what is in front of settler, and I delete everything what is behind settler. I think that there are a lot of things, so I will just scroll to the end of the file. Okay, so right now I think that I also removed the... Okay, so we just have the one unit model memento, which is the unit model information, and that's it. There's nothing else in the file. And what we want to do, we just want to mod a couple of things for this unit. So let's give it a try. What we can mod. Of course, it's not that easy because you need to know what are all these information for. But I can tell you that there is unit defensive behavior rules, and it says 1, which is the defense of the unit. So let's change it to 10. Let's change it to 10 and come back to the mod. This basically, we just changed the first rule of the game. All the rest we changed already is just about the way it looks. It's about the way um, it might sound, for example, for music and sound effects, but it doesn't have any impact on the game itself. This is the first thing which has. So you can see that the settler, which was fine before, is now very damaged. He's basically he looks really weird, and the reason is that he still have the defense 1, but the difference is that the defense, the model defense, is 10. So he's very damaged. Uh, what we can do, we can repair him. I'm not sure if there are any. Okay, there are basically no specializations. Well, let's change it in the editor. Change it to settler. Okay, and we started to heal him, and if we look at him now, he's already 10. He's still in build, so it means that he's not really finished, but you see that he's now 10. So we changed the definition of the mod. These all are just eye candy stuff, but this was already rule change. So let's try a couple of more things to change. And let's try, for example, to delete, well, if we delete the unit model, no, let's try something else. Let's try, for example, to change a resource. So let's leave unit models as they are, and let's try to change resource. You see that you can find all the resources in the file, in the prototype mod. So we just copy it over, and what we will do, we will simply change how the wood looks like, and also how it's named. So first we just copied over the whole collection, but we removed everything we are not interested in, and let's now just mod it. So it means we already have the resource texts modded. So let's open it here. And let's call it a different way. Right now it's called resources wood. Well, let's call it different way. Let's call it resources mana. And let's add this to the translation file, and let's call it my mana. All right, we have bitmap file which we can also change. We might name it resources mana, but we need to create such a file. So just let's have a look where it's located in the prototype. You can see that it's in resources file, resources folder. So let's copy the wood over, create the folder. If we keep it like that and we don't change this file name, then it would work as well. But what I'm trying to present here is that it will pick up also new files. So let's call it different way. Let's also change it here. And I don't know. I don't really want to get into any kind of graphics, so let's just I don't know. Let's just, for example, add there some kind of red. That's just add there some kind of red crossing. That's the first thing. And let's also change it, change the icons, how it looks like in the resource panel. So it means we need to go to graphics, and there is the game resources file. You just go to graphics in here, and you also change it here. Or we can even create a new one. Let's create a new one. So let's copy it over, change the location of that. Again, just let's make it a bit red. It's not fancy, and I really don't want to. I would definitely make it better, but it doesn't make sense right now. So, but that we have a different location of this. We don't want to use this. We want to use this one. But it means that we need to change also the location in here, which means horizontal index and vertical index. The horizontal index is 0 because it's the first one in the row, but the vertical index is 1, which is the second row. And the rest we can now keep as it was before. And yeah, let's give it a try. I hope that it will work again. So what we did, we basically replaced existing resource. Uh, we took wood, we changed it to my mana. We also changed the way it looks, and we also changed the picture of the resource for the aggressors library. So you can see, okay, it's not precise because the position must be tweaked. We would just need to put it a bit lower, like this probably. But you can see it's my mana now. Wow! And also when I click on that, right click, you can see that there is a new file, a new illustration picked up already. You can also see that there are some texts which are not ready yet. That's because of we just created the translation for the name, but we haven't created the translation for the description and the hint. So we can do it straight away. Let's just description hint and description. I'm just going to say my mana description hint and my mana description just to simplify it. Okay, I think that this is basically it. So let's try it again. Let's save this file so we can see it applied. And let's start the game again. New game. Okay, it's a bit better. It still needs a bit of tweaking, so maybe somewhere here. And when I click on that right click, you can see my mana description hint, my mana description. So we basically replace the resource itself. Internally, it works exactly the same way as it was before, because we just change the name, we change the pictures, etc. But internally, it works exactly the same way. But what if we decide to change um, the usage of this? So let's say we want to repair. I'm going to change the set to settler again. We want to repair this guy, heal this guy. You can see that it cost 758 of gold and 758 of citizens now. But let's say we want to use the mana as well. So how are we going to do that? It's really simple. You just use this in the unit model. You find costs and you need to find the right move type. Uh, we will have everything prepared for you with all the lists, like what is what in the SDK once it's released. But right now, let's just say it's 12. So we use the mana, which is I think it's 6. Yes, it's 6. So let's change 12 and add their ID 6. And let's leave it 8, it's fine. So one more try. And if everything works, you should now see. I'm going to change it to settler again. You should now see the mana usage. Okay, we finally got it almost right here. And we are also using mana right now, so you can see it's everywhere as it should be. If we will use it, it's going down as it should. Okay, and that's the resources. And what are we about to do is to add a new resource instead of change the existing one. Okay, so let's try it out. First, let's finish the simplest stuff. So let's create a new icon for the resource. I just copied over something I found, which is a trolley. It's basically trolley with coal, but it doesn't really matter what it is. I'm not even sure how to call this new resource. And let's add a new one. First, we should look to the prototyping mode of what IDs of the resources are taken. So you can see that there's a number of IDs taken. What is not taken is, for example, ID 12. So let's put there ID 12. However we should call it, I don't know. Let's just say we want trolley. Again, we just already copy over these. Okay, I have this. These translations. We want to add basically all these things new. Let's call it trolley description hint, and trolley description. This is really just a placeholder, so so it will be clear that it works. And the last thing is that we should also create the new file for the resources here. Well, let's just for now let's just use trolley here as well for the mana file, and maybe just change it a bit so we can see that it's really working. Let's just put there something really simple, like some kind of rectangle with some kind of pattern, maybe. Okay, and let's just put there some kind of pattern overlay. Okay, this is our trolley. So that's all right. We have it done. We have it here. We also have it here. The bitmap file must be changed, and horizontal index must be changed. Let's leave the rest, and let's also change what it's used for. Let's say we want to use trolley for every movement the settler does, every movement. So again, you would need to know the exact ID for that, which is 1. And it's not there yet. You know, you see move type 3, 12, 15. Okay, let's add there 1. Let's add there 1. Let's say it will use number 12, and it will use, for every movement, it will use 1 trolley. Which means we cannot basically move because we don't have any trolleys yet. But let's start the game and see if it works. So far, we have been basically editing existing items, and right now we are adding the first one. We can also remove whatever we want, which is the next item on my list to show. Let's first check out the trolley resource. All right, we can see we have trolleys here. Okay, it's not exact position. Again, we have to tweak it a bit, but you can see it's there. It's trolley. It also has this icon. It also has the description, etc. All right, the problem is you can see that the trolley takes 1 for movement, which means we can't move. If we have trolleys, so let's add some trolleys now. We have trolleys, and you see we can move, and every movement it decreases. So we have new resource, which we simply learn how to use straight away. And we can do this with basically any kind of resource. But let's try another thing you can do. Let's remove a resource. Let's say we don't really like how it works. Let's say we don't like that we have to use, I don't know, gold, for example. So let's copy over gold from the prototype. And for every item you are going to mod, you have a couple of options. First one is you can change the existing ones, as I said. So it means you specify the same ID and it will simply replace whatever was in the prototype mode. Then you can add the new one, which means that you specify an ID which is not there yet, or you can remove anything you want. So let's say we want to remove gold. Gold is ID 1, and the only thing we have to do is to say remove is equal true. Remove equal true means that everything what is related to gold, I mean all the costs, all the production, everything is simply removed from the mod on the fly, and it doesn't take it into consideration anymore. So let's load it, and let's see what it does. So you can see it's basically removed from the list of resources. And I haven't shown it before, that was a mistake, but as you probably know, the hoplites cost also gold, and you see the gold is gone. Basically, there is no gold. Even in here, if you go to resources, you won't find it anymore. You see the trolley, you'll see the my mana resource, but the gold is gone. Um, this is how you can also remove things from the mod, but you can also have another option, which is clearing the existing um, collections. The only thing you have to do is to add clear collections, a clear prototype collection equal true. What it will does, in this case, it will simply, once it load the prototype and then it proceed to this, it will clear whatever was loaded. So it means that it will clear all the resources which are there, and it will continue processing your own. In that case, it doesn't make sense to remove gold because gold is gone. But let's leave there mana and trolley and give it a try to see what's going to happen. So what we did, we prototyped mode, and we decided that we don't want to use any of the resources which were there initially, or more precisely, we removed wood at mana instead, and we also add the trolleys. So this is completely new rules and completely new resources. So you can see now that there are just 2 resources, and they have nothing to do with the rest. You can see that, for example, build field of the settler is now for free. It still takes 1 turn to finish, but there are no resources required, because all the resources which were required were those ones we removed. We can again, as we did before, we can use our new resources to just specify the costs, but right now it's for free. But it still costs 1 resource of trolley to move, because we already specified that. Okay, let's try to change a couple more things to show that everything can be changed in the prototype mode. Let's start the game again, and let's see how it is with, for example, the mod unit names. Basically, every mod has a list of names which are used, for example, for cities, uh, which are um, suggested for the player to use when the new cities created. So okay, we must have full strength because now it needs to be 10. So let's change the defense to 10, so we can build city. So let's build a city. You can see there is suggested name Gela. Let's call it Gela. It doesn't really matter. And let's also try another thing. You can improve cities, and there is right now defense. That's the only thing which you can do. But if we will change in the editor our technologies, let's add a couple more. Let's add this, for example, trading. So you see we have trading here. So we what we want to get rid of all the names, because we don't like those names. So let's find the names. Let's find Gela. You can see it's here, and there are many others. Let's copy it over again. Let's copy it to our file, and let's delete everything. Let's delete everything. Let's delete it the same way we did before. Let's just clear prototype collection. It means will delete all the names which are preset, and let's just add our own. Let's add two of our own. Let's say it works, and I don't know. Hello. That's the first thing we want to change, and the second thing is the unit improvements. Let's go back to the prototype mode and find the unit behaviors collection. Let's copy it over and let's leave there just the trading. So it means again let's clear the whole collection and just leave there trading, which is 31, and delete everything else. So let's delete this. Okay, so there is just one improvement, which is trading, and we also delete all the names of the mod, and we created our own, two of our own. So let's start the game. New game. Again, Rome Empire. And again, let's try to build a city. Let's try to build a city. We need to in editor, because we changed the defense of settler. We have to change it to higher values. Here again, this settler is also damaged, and let's move it here. Okay. So let's build two cities. Let's build city, and it works. Perfect. Let's build another city. Oh, okay, we need our mana. And hello! Perfect. So you see that you can change the mod names. And the second thing is are the improvements of city. Again, let's add the same. Let's add the same technology trading. So in previous try, there were two available improvements. Right now, there is just one. And the reason is simple. If we go to the Aggressors library and improvements, there is simply just one. All the others are gone. So let's sum it up. What we already learned. We learned how to change assets. We also learned how to change UI. We also learned how to change text in the game. And let's just go through the mod file and see what are the options, what can be changed in general. I'm not going to show all the things which can be changed because there is a lot of things to change. But let's just go through them. You can change AI. I will talk about it a bit later. But basically, you can set up your own behavior of AI. You can even set up different AI algorithms for each player, which means that you can really have very different ways how the AI players think and react. You can change technologies, you can add technologies, you can change how much they cost, how long it takes. You can create your own invention tree. It's all up to you. You can change administrations. You can say how much increase you get when you have this administration. So it means that for example, right now, if you have monarchy, then the gold, which is ID1, is a bit lower, but on the other hand, ID2, which I'm not I think that its core is a bit higher, etc. You can change all that. You can create even your own administrations. You can create technology achievements like improving roads, building farms, etc. You can add songs. You can change game sounds and action game sounds, which is once you click on the button, how it will sound. You can change the effects, sound effects. For example, if you, for example, I don't know, build a road, or what's going to be the sound of that action. You can change the animations and the models. I already shown how it looks like to change a model, or at least not the model itself, but the properties of that model. You can also change the animals on the map, like eagles, dolphins, etc. You can also change shortcuts. You can change the default move. So, for example, if you don't like that default move for settler is building farm, you can simply change it here. You can change the difficulty settings. So, if you want to make it easier for players on lower setting, you can change it. You can change the names. You can change the resources. You can change the terrains. You can change not only how they look like, and how they look like you can change only by changing assets, but you can also change the way how what they produce. For example, here let's go to the properties of grassland. Um, and you can see the production 5 is food, so you can change it. You can say that there will be more or less food. It's up to you. You can also change what kind of noise, which is basically um, some, let's call it, anomalies on the terrain, which makes it a bit more variety, uh, etc. You can also change the terrain extensions. For example, terrain extension is a farm, so you can change it here. You see that terrain extension farm. You can change it. You can change not only how it looks like, but how it behaves. I will also show it later on. And you can change the unit extensions. I already showed. You can change how the units actually get these extensions. So, for example, some of these extensions are gained in the fight. Some of them have to be trained. You can specify that. You can change the introduction music once the game is loaded. Then this is specified of what songs are played. You can change it. You can change the advisor windows. You can change the did you know hints when the enemies are playing or moving. You can change what's displayed there. You can change the daylight setting. It's basically the color of the color of the sun, um, how it shines. you can change the way it's the selected unit is displayed in the unit menu. You can change the cursors. Basically, you can if you don't like how the cursor of build farm looks like, you can change it. Uh, you can change how the windows looks like. You can change the not only the files themselves, like I showed you the state window, but you can also say that you want to have or you don't want to have some illustrations for different windows. So you just find the right window, diplomacy window, or I don't know, trade details window, trade window, and you can change how it looks like. And if you want to have the illustration there or not. And you can also change how the map generator works. So that's pretty much the mod definition. It might make sense to show at least one more modding ability, and let's just add to the map different animals. Um, the animals are defined in these ambient models. So let's copy it over to our prototyped mod, and let's delete everything. So we don't really want to remove the existing animals. We just want to add a new one. I'm not going to tell you right now what exactly needs to be specified. I already prepared a code snippet for cows, and it basically all these information says how many cows might be on the tile, or what shape of the or what how the group shapes, and how it's named, how it's displayed, and many other properties you can specify. But I would like to use another model for the cow. I don't want to reuse for cow like I don't know, a deer or dolphin, and I already prepared the cow model in advance. So what we need to do is we just need to have the right folder name, which is ambient models. So let's create in our prototype mod a folder called ambient models and copy over the cow model and the animation. So what it should do, if it works, hopefully it will, it should now add to the game, once we start a new game, it should add new models, new animals, which were not there initially. So let's see. New game, again. Hopefully the cow will show up. So I don't see any here. Here are just the Germans. Oh yeah, here you go. Here are the cows. So, okay, just once, because there are not so many terrains where they can appear. But you can see there is a brand new model with different look, not just the textures, but also different 3D models which have animations and everything correctly working. So this is the mod definition. We are now getting to the most interesting and also the most advanced stuff, which is scripting and also your own AI algorithms. Okay, let's jump into the advanced part. This part of the tutorial is not for, let's say, beginner modders. This is for for people who already know what they are doing, and also for people who know how to write code, especially in C Sharp and .NET Framework. I'm going to show how it is easy to create whatever you want, whatever behavior you want, but you just need to know how to write code. Um, Aggressors has two different sets of code. The first one is the core, and the core cannot be changed. It's basically a framework which um, loads external plugins or scripts, and of course the mode definition, and then everything is bound in the core and used. Uh, you cannot change the core, but you can change all the other stuff, all the scripts, which basically defined define the rules of the game. So you can have totally different behavior of units, unit extensions, terrain extensions, of events and stuff like that. So if we go to the original mode, then there is the folder called scripts. This folder has basically pure text files. We can open it. Let's open it here. So you can see. Okay, let's open another one. Let's open units. Basically, in this file, all the behavior of unit types is defined. So you can find here the the behavior of resources. You can find the figure, which is all the military units. You can find buildings, boat, temple, blacksmith, etc., etc. So you can really work on the level of mod definition only, which is what we have been doing for the last hour. Or you can jump into more advanced stuff and try to change the behavior itself, which means not only the values which are already available for you, but you can create basically totally different values, totally different behavior, um, which will be taken by the core, and the core will work with that. Um, I don't want to write code in this tutorial, because this is really for another tutorial, and it also needs some kind of software development kit manual. But I will just show you how it can be used if you know what you are doing. So again, like before, it works with the principle whatever you define is taken, and the rest is taken from what was there already before. So let's just change something first. So it means that we will let's for example change the behavior of one of the unit types, which means we go to our prototyping mode, we create the scripts folder, and we copy over the units file. Let's open the units file, and let's delete everything, and let's copy over new functionality. Let's simply say we want to create brand new type of unit. I will copy it over uh, from another file where I was testing this. It's called God. We copy it over to our file, and let's say we have this God. What it does, it's pretty simple. What it does, the only thing how it differs to any other unit model or unit type is that at the end of the turn, it repairs the unit. Whatever defense and attack the unit has. Let's say it's a god. and it will repair itself straight away without costs. And we also want to inform the player about this with the report. Uh, we need to define the text which will be displayed to the player. So we add uh, two new texts. First is the title of the text, and second is the text itself. So let's say was repaired. It's enough right now. And so we define the new behavior for the unit, and we need to use this, which means we already have in our mod file, we already have changed the settler. So let's do simple thing. Let's change the settler behavior, which means instead of scripting equals settler, which is in the prototype script, let's change it to God. It means basically that it will lose all the abilities of the settler, but on the other hand, it will have the abilities of the God. So if it's correct, what it will do is it will repair itself at the end of the turn to the full strength uh, without without us doing anything. Because the settlers in the game are already very weak. The reason is simple. It currently has defense 1, and it should have defense 10, because that's basically the model's defense with which the model is created, and also this settler. Then we end the turn. Let's skip those turns. And what it will do, it will simply repair those two guys. So it's 10 and 10, and you see settler was repaired. So what we created is brand new behavior. You can change a lot of things like that, and it's pretty easy to do, because most of the things are already prepared in the core. For example, these things like start repairing. You don't have to care about anything except of what you really want to do, and that's the way you can change the behavior of the unit. Similarly, you can change other scripts. So let's say um, we want to have unit extension. We want to have unit improvement with a very specific behavior. Let's try to change things a bit. So far, we have been using the game concepts in the way that are used in the original mod, but let's change it now, and let's create a something what is not used in the original mod. Let's create a unit extension. Um, let's call it just simply unit behavior.test, and let's have it ID 42, and let's give it a negative impact on the unit. So uh, first we should define the text, which needs to be set for the name. So the name is unit behavior.test, and the name will be suicide behavior. Uh, we also create a new scripting class called test unit behavior, and I already added it here. So basically, it's very simple, again, very simple behavior, which on the end of the another unit action checks if the position of the unit is not further than one tile away, which means it's really right next to the unit. It's the same altitude, which means it's both on ground, it's both on sea, and it's not the same owner. And once this is true, it will simply remove the unit and inform the player. There is a text informing about it, and we need to add this text to the translations. So let's add it to here. Unit kills itself, title, and text, and we just write there killed itself. It's not something you want to have, but you can. And the way how this can work is that let's say you go to the battle and you get this unit behavior during the battle. So it means that you really need to get rid of this somehow, and to get rid of this unit behavior, you might introduce a new unit action. I will come back to it right after this. So um, first thing we already created. We created the scripting class. We created the text, and now we have to add the the file which will be displayed in the aggressors library. I'm just randomly picking one of the files because we don't really care about it. The only thing which I will change is how it looks like. So let me just again change the head of this guy, which so how that this way we will recognize that's our new unit behavior, and we also need to change the unit promotions file, which has a list of promotions. Basically, I will again add it to the file, but not sure how it will turn up because it might be a bit too big or too small. Let's see. Okay, I think that this is all right. Let's save the file. Unit promotions, and I think we are ready to go. Okay, the mod is loaded, which is always a good sign. Roman Empire. All right, here we go. So what we want to test is that this behavior works. So I will get this settler in full strength, and I will add him this suicide behavior. Okay, and as you can see, the image works. It's also here. We still don't have the descriptions and hints, but let's just skip that. We need to add mana to the or trolleys, actually trolleys to our stock to move the settlers. So right now we are here. We are waiting for this guy to come. It might take a couple of turns. Let's see. Come on. Okay. They are not even here. So let's move them closer. Let's move them both closer. The reason why I have the hoplite there is that this unit will not be killed and will be attacked the hoplite. So hoplite is attacked, and what will happen now is that the suicide behavior um, was executed, and you can see that there are no settlers here, and you can also see settler killed itself. So this behavior worked, and this way you can simply change the way the unit behaviors are used. So let's try one more fun scripting. Let's create a new unit action. Unit actions are probably the most difficult part of scripting, and that's also the reason why I saved it uh, for the last part of scripting. There is no reason to specify the action itself in the mod definition file. The only thing you have to do is to create this functionality. So let's go again to scripts, and you can see that there are now two scripts we created, and we will copy over the third one, which is MSGS, which is messages. And again, let's just basically delete everything. These are the messages which are already used in the ancient row mod. You can see that there are currently four moves, which is build agriculture land, this chop wood, drain water, and build city. And there are other ones, which is mod full end turn, mod end turn, mod start turn. These are generic ones which you can use for your own mod to calculate things and change the state. And there is also tutorial. Tutorial is also scripted action. The only thing which we need to keep there is this extended message factory. Basically, this tells the core what can be created, what kind of moves can be created with your mod and in your messages. I will copy over what I have already here prepared. Okay, let's just have a quick look at what is it about. Let's call it mod move 1, and let's give it a. This is actually an ID. We already use mod move 1, 2, 3, 4 in the prototype mode. So let's say this is mod number 5. This is how it looks like the icon and where is the position. There are a couple of properties, and there are two important methods which can be done, which basically checks if it's currently possible to execute this move, and there is this do move, which is the execution itself. The only thing with what it does in the do move is that it pays for this action if there are any costs specified in the mod file, which we don't want to specify, but even there are no costs, we can leave it there for the future. And it uh, it sets the attack power to the model power, which means if you have a lower attack value, this will increase it back to the original value. This action can be executed only when unit is not repaired. This enabled basically checks if this is possible, and if not, it will not display it in the list of unit actions. So let's save it. We don't have to do anything else. Right now we don't have any restrictions of where this can be used or where it cannot be used. And we are pretty much ready to go. The only thing we need to change is this message factory, which will now have uh, only one action. So what we say is, in create new message, we specify, okay, for mod move 5, you execute this class we just created. So let's give it a try. We should also we can check what is this 10 and 3 in the icons. 10 is vertical position, sorry, horizontal position, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it's 3, which is this icon. It doesn't make sense, but on the other hand, this icon is not used in the game, so at least we will see that there is something new. So let's start it. And if this works, we will have a brand new unit action. So you can simply change whatever the units do, not only the costs and not only which unit can do it, but you can also change what it does. So what we need, it's pretty simple. We need just a unit which doesn't have a full attack. If you see here, it has a full attack. So let's change it to less, and you can see it pops up. We didn't specify the translation for that. That's very easy because you just use this key and translate it. But let's now click on that, and you see that the value of attack improved to 4, which is actually 4 out of 4, which is the value of the model. Let's do one more thing. Let's change this behavior, and let's change it the way that it will not repair. It will remove the extension we got. So that's the extension number 42, as far as I remember. Yeah, it's extension number 42. So let's just change this very quickly. First thing we want to do, we want to specify the the translation just to be. So we have the mod move 5, and let's call it um, remove suicide. And we just change the script which is executed once this action is performed. I already created a very short code snippet, and you can see that it tries to find the unit behavior number 42, which is our suicide behavior, and if unit has it, then it removes it. Right now we should also take care about when is this going to be displayed. So we just, in the is enabled, we just say that if unit has this behavior, we want to show it, otherwise we don't want to show it. And that's pretty much it. I hope that it will work. So let's start the game. So we should now have already named because we named in translation the action. We should have a named action which is available only when a unit has this suicide behavior, and we have an action which once it's executed, it will remove this suicide behavior. So let's give it now suicide behavior first, and you can see that it popped up. It's remove suicide, and once we click on that, it's removed. Right now it doesn't cost any resources, but as we already saw before, it's very easy to do. I'm not going to even execute it, but if you want to add costs for that, you open the unit models, you go to costs, and well, you simply copy over one of the costs, and you just specify number 42, as far as I. So sorry, it's not 42. 42 was the 42 was the unit behavior itself, but we want to know the ID of mod move 5, which is 204. So we just specify in here 204, Let's also say that it will take 2 turns to remove it, and unit will be active again. And let's say we want to use mana for this removing. Mana, as far as I remember, is 6 and 12. Okay, let's use both 6 and 12. So this is it, 6 and 12, and let's say it will use 5 mana and 10 of trolleys. So if it works, we basically created a brand new action which already works with a brand new unit behavior. So um, let's say we fought in a fight, and so we got this unit extension which we don't really want, and that's why we created a new unit action which will remove this suicide behavior from out of from the unit. But the problem is it will also uh, cost some it will cost some resources. So you can see that this action is not available right now. Remove suicide, you don't have enough resources. So what we have to do, we have to add trolleys. We have enough mana for that. We don't have trolleys, so let's add trolleys. And it's available, we can, it's in 2 turns. We execute that, it was removed, and we are done. So this is the way the scripting works. You might think that this is it looks easy because I'm simply copying and pasting the code, but the game comes with its own SDK. When we go to the folder where are saves and height maps and scenarios, you can also see that there is this SDK. Once you open it, you will see that there are files which should make it much more easy to start scripting. I'm not going to run it because it doesn't make sense to waste time on that. But basically, these are project files from Visual Studio, and whoever already developed something in Visual Studio would know how it works. There are already created scripts for testing, so you can see that this action is already there prepared, so you can have a look how it works. All right, so these are the scripts, and the number of items you can script is quite extensive. You might mod or script the terrain extensions. So for example, the farms. You can script the city foundations, which can be changed. Then you can create the new actions, which is these messages. Then you can script game actions and game conditions. We are not going into that because it would take some time. You can script the movement of the animals. You can script the terrain properties. So basically, you can create functionality of the different terrain types. You can script the resources, how they behave. You can script the unit behaviors as I shown, and the units, and also the move events. So you might create new move events. Basically, even right now in the game, if we look at the scripts and open it, for example, the move events, you will see that this is all scripted. Plague, ship lost, temperature change, which is the ice age or warm age. Then there are some citizens attitude, revolt, etc., etc. These are all scripts. So you can even have a look and see how it's implemented, which will make it easier for you to start. But this also proof that that it's possible, because we already use these scripts. It's not part of the core, because the core has only code which can be used for any mod, and it doesn't make sense to have a plague move event in the core, so it's already in the scripts. So we basically covered everything except of the basic, the most difficult part. The most difficult part is AI and creation of the new AI. I will cover it very briefly because that's something we would really spend a lot of time with, and then we are done. So let's open our SDK now. Um, and you can see that there are two items. The first one is the script tester, and there are the basically some examples what and how to use. But we don't really want to go into the scripting anymore. But there is also AI. There is also AI which was created as a template, and we can open this. The only things which you can which are important are the initialize, if you need to initialize the AI, and the start turn. And at the end of the start turn, it simply calls end turn. Now, if we will run it like this, you will see that the AI doesn't really do anything. It's simply every time you let the AI players play, they will end the turn, so they will don't do anything. So to see that it's actually working, we will add just this loop, which says, well, we want to get all my units. I want to get all my units and find the squares around me, and randomly, which is this shuffle, randomly try to move to one of these squares. That's it. That's the simplest AI we can use. And what we will do now, uh, we will copy it to our script, or our mod. It should be copied to AI folder. So let's create an AI folder and copy that file over. So we have my AI in the prototyping mod folder, and then we have these AIs. There are already AIs for the ancient Rome mod. So what are we going to do? We are going back to the to our mod definition, and we will add a new uh, player AI algorithm. So we need to copy paste this, and we will add there this. We don't want to remove the existing ones, so we are not going to clear the collection. We will just add a new one with ID equal to 3, which is one not used yet. If we will just double check here, this is the mod prototype, and you can see that just 1 and 2 are used. This one is commented out, which means it's not used. And the last thing we have to do is to change the scenario file where the players are um, specified. Not sure if I have it open somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Scenarios, and that's our scenario. We open it, and we change the ID of the player, of the AI player, for German tribes. So we have German tribes, and you can see AI settings is now equal to 2. Let's set it to number 3, which means that it will use our newly created AI library, and that's it. That should be it. So as you can see that now, because of there are 4 different players in the scenario, there is Roman Empire, there is these German tribes, there is Caledonians, and there is also Hibernia tribes. And all of them are using the already existing AI algorithm, which is used even in the campaign map. But we just created a new one, and we set it only for the German tribes. It means that with this approach, you can create totally different AI behaviors. So every player can have a very different way how it performs its turns, how it thinks, and we should give it a try now and see if it really works. Okay, it seems like the core accepted the new AI, because otherwise it would already crash if there is anything wrong with the library. So what we want to show is that the German tribes player has now very different behavior to the rest. And what I will do, I will add a couple of triremes to the coast of Britain, just to see the moves of these AIs. You can see that there are nomads and also some settlers, but these settlers are not able to build cities because they are damaged. But let's repair this guy just to see that they can build cities. On the other hand, German tribes can't build cities. The only thing they can do is that they can randomly move around the map. So um, they don't even attack. So let's just move closer and see what are they going to do. So you can see that they just randomly move. They select select a place where they go, and they move there. So far we haven't maybe seen anything. All right, okay. We see that there are the cities or towns. Hello, and it works because they already created their own towns. On the other hand, German tribes are not capable to do so. They are able to move. They do randomly move. But you can also see that this guy, for example, is moving to the tiles to our country and doesn't care about supplies anymore. So we can try another move. Okay, they are just randomly moving. They don't attack. They don't build new cities. On the other hand, you just saw the Caledonian build his new city. Right now, it's probably without name because we are out of names. But the city was built. So this is the new AI. We now have very different behaviors, and once this tool gets into the hands of good programmers, I'm pretty sure we will see very nice surprises how this can be used. Um, this is the end of our tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. My first tutorial. It was very exhausting, and I'm happy that it's finally over. But I'm also happy that I have the honor to actually present all these features. So once again, thank you for watching, and bye.